Hey there. So, if you've ever wanted your website to do more than just sit there and look pretty, like bring in leads, work on search engines, and grow your email list, stay tuned. You're in the right place. I'm going to break down how you can use quizzes as an SEO powerhouse. Not only are they insanely engaging, but when optimized correctly, they can actually drive organic traffic to your website and build your email list. Stay till the end because I'm going to share specific quiz ideas that are SEO optimized for different niches. All right, let's dive in. So, before you dive into creating this amazing quiz, it will be very advantageous to figure out what are people actually searching on Google. So, I love going to Pinterest for this too, and you can just type into like the Pinterest search bar a question and it will pull up other questions people may asking. So let me give you a quick example. I have a quiz that says what's stopping your website from converting visitors into clients. And it aligns with different search terms that I noticed people were searching for, like why isn't my website converting? I got that one a lot. And I got that question in my Facebook group. People also said how to get more leads to my website or website mistakes that are hurting my conversion. So all that kind of tied into the title. And then on my webpage, I also kind of answered those questions, which I will go into that. So let's use an example for like a photographer. You might have a quiz that's what's your photography style, especially if your style is unique. Let's say you're light and airy. Right now, a lot of boho, darker, kind of trends are going on. And so if your style is very unique, that might be a really great title to have. And so you just really want to think about your niche and what your audience is really looking for. Okay, you have your quiz idea. You want to make sure that people are actually searching for it on Google and you're kind of phrasing it in a way that people will search for. So this might be repetitive, but you want to use those keywords that people are looking. And so if you've done keyword research, I'll link a free training below that shows you my process to doing keyword research. But if you've done it, you want to use those keywords in your title. You also want your title to be really, really short and clear and engaging. Another tip is to use you or your to really draw them in. So let me give you an example. What's your brand personality is a quiz that I have as well. And it's very clear and it's keyword friendly and it's engaging them. Instead, like a poor SEO title would be take this fun brand quiz. That's very vague. And it wouldn't work very well for grabbing that type of entrepreneur who wants to figure out their branding. The next step is to create a landing page on your website that can house your quiz. There are quiz platforms where you can have the quiz on their website. That's not helping your website get traffic, it's not helping your SEO. The longer somebody stays on a page on your website, the more Google is like, oh, this is a really valuable website. People are staying here for a long time. If they're taking a quiz, they're staying on that page for a long time. So that helps to move that page up in rankings. And so, what are some things that you can do to this page to really optimize it for SEO? Once you've embedded the quiz, if you come on over to your page, so you can kind of see this is the back end of Show It, but every page, Squarespace, every platform has an SEO settings section. So let's go to my SEO settings of Show It. So the way that you get to SEO settings is you click on the page. Sometimes you have to click out of it. And then over on the right-hand side, it says SEO settings. So page title, you really want to try to incorporate some of those keyword phrases. Again, you want it to be, this one, what's stopping your website from converting visitors into clients? That could work. This page title says struggling with website conversions, take this quiz. Okay. Then the meta description. This, if you can add in keywords, great. However, you really want it to be super compelling because when they're searching things on Google, there's tons of different related topics. And so you want your little section to stand out. So mine says, find out what's holding your website back from converting visitors into paying clients and get expert recommendations to fix it. So that is just an example of a meta description. So that's the first thing you want to do. The next thing you want to do is add a keyword rich headline. So this is your H1, and I actually did not do a great job here. So this is my H1, take the quiz. And I can tell it's my H1 because if I click on it, it's my title, and then Show It, that they call the title the H1. If you want, little bonus tip, if you are like, oh, I didn't want that to be my H1, you can click on it and you can actually go to text properties and change the title tag to be like H3 or something. And that just tells Google that's not the main topic of the page, if that makes sense. But I'm going to go back to that being the H1. And instead of take the quiz, I would put something related to what's stopping your website from converting visitors into clients. So that really keyword rich thing. And you have that as your headline. So that's the first thing to do. And then you can always add tons of copy to the page. So just like text, like this stuff down here where your website should be your best salesperson. Add some text in there that again is keyword rich, has those keyword phrases that people are using, whether it's like for me, website, DIY, Squarespace, show it. Like those are all keywords. And then if I put them into a string, that's a keyword phrase. So you add that. Another great way, this works actually for any page on your website, not just your quiz landing page. But I have other links that, although this gets them off of the page, which I don't want necessarily, it keeps them on my website. So this is called internal linking. This is great for SEO. And it's other valuable things. Like, do you want to DIY your website? That would direct them to my free training. Okay. Down here is a little Q&A. And so that's another really great way to add in keyword phrases and to serve your audience, keep them on the page longer. So yeah, definitely consider adding a Q&A. And again, how I usually like to write the copy on my page is I just write it how I talk. And because that just, people can tell if it's written by ChatGPT. So just write it out how you talk. And then I go in and I say, okay, where can I organically add in some of my keyword phrases like DIY website or website conversion? And I just see if there's ways I can organically add it in without like stuffing it in, if that makes sense, because Google doesn't like that and they will knock you. So that is the next really big tip for you guys. The next tip is related to internal linking, like I talked about. Once you've spent the time creating a quiz, it takes some time, right? You want to get it out there, right? Take advantage of it. So create some blog posts, which blogging is great for SEO, even if only your mom and your dad read it. It's really good for search engines to say, wow, they're really credible in this thing because they talk about it so much on their website. So blog, and then you can link to your quiz. For example, let's say I have a blog post, 5 common website mistakes that are killing your sales. I could then link to my website conversion quiz. Maybe I have a blog post that says how to define your brand personality. That can link to my brand quiz. And so that is a really great way to just get it on your website. And then I have a pigful system is what I call it. I'll link the training below. And this is my SEO system I've been using for 5+ years. And pretty much what it just means is once you've created your pillar content, so your blog or your YouTube video, you then want to push it out to different platforms. And so I'm not saying you need to be on every platform. I think that's absolutely exhausting and you should not be active on every single social media platform. However, I think having all the platforms is good. You just have them, you set them up, and then you push it out to Pigful. P is Pinterest, I is Instagram, G is Google Business Listing. If you don't have one, go ahead and get one. F is Facebook, E, email marketing, L, LinkedIn. So that process, again, I'm going to link the training below so you can watch me do the exact process. It takes me like 5 to 15 minutes. It's so streamlined at this point. So you post your blog, you put it out to Pigful, boom, done. You're promoting this quiz. We talked about internal linking to your pages on your website, but another great way to grow your credibility is external linking. So maybe you reach out to an industry friend who is not in the exact same industry as you, and you ask them to share about your quiz. Let's say you're on a podcast, you talk about your quiz. Usually podcast people have transcripts and they will link then to your website or this quiz that you've created. Another thing you could do is on the results page, you could have like a share your results and people potentially would share it with on their Facebook page, let's say. You could also just encourage people to share the results, like take us on Instagram with your results. And again, this is just leveraging social media as well as backlinks. Quizzes are really shareable. Like people like to be like, oh my goodness, this is a fun little fact about me. So take advantage of that. I wanted to give you guys just a couple quiz ideas just to get your brain kind of going. I know there's tons of industries that would potentially watch this video. So let's talk about photography. I already talked about you could do like what's your photography style for a family photo shoot. If you're specifically trying to focus on the niche of family photography, add that in. Let's say you're a therapist. You could have, what's your coping style? That would be something I would be very interested in learning about. And then at the end, you could promote your services or some free blog posts you've written. Let's say you are a yoga studio. You could have, what's your yoga style? Make it fun. Food bloggers, what's your cooking personality? Online business managers, what's your CEO superpower, right? Because if you're an OBM, you are probably working with people who are CEOs and they're not so good at like all of the back end type of thing. And so you really want to play into that. So those are just some ideas. If you have no idea, go ahead and ask ChatGPT, right? Just put it in and say, hey, come up with 10 ideas related to, virtual assistants that I could create for a quiz using this type of keyword phrase, and it'll push out tons of ideas for you. Quizzes aren't just a fun thing. They are really powerful for SEO and for your email list growth. They are one of the biggest growers of your email list. So take advantage, optimize it for keywords, and then embed it into your different content. If you guys want to see my quizzes in action, you can take the brand personality quiz, which will discover your unique brand style, especially related to your website and like what your your design style is. Like, we're not doing branding for like your home decor. I don't know that stuff. Or if your website is not converting, take my website quiz, and I even give you some expert recommendations about, okay, what can we do then to fix this and make your website actually convert? So I will link those below.